I would say right now that if you told me that I could connect a hard drive to the new iPhone, that's it. That's all. Yeah, that's good enough for me. That's all I need. The other stuff is great. Scott, any more thoughts?
I do want to test it, but I think there's reason to be hopeful, Jeff. And I think, again, it's an absolute press the order button now if you're the kind of person that goes for the 15 instead of the 15 Pro Max. You're going to get yourself a 14 Pro Max, or excuse me, 14 Pro at least, capable camera.
I wish it had a 10x zoom like they have on the Galaxy, the 23 Plus, which I really like a lot. I just don't like using Android phones. I love the iPhone. I love the iPhone, and I love the how easy it is to get your footage off there. I've been struggling. I shot a whole bunch of stuff yesterday on the Galaxy, and it took me a long time to get the footage off there. So from Joel, do you think it'd be better to upgrade from 14 to 15? If yes, why? Would you recommend having both 14 and 15? If so, why? I'm a photographer. I'm an iPhone fanboy. If you said you could get a new camera, and plug it into a hard drive and have a USB and have an extra better zoom and have the an extra coating on there to fix some of your lens flare, I'm in. I am in. I'm in. So because of that, I will be buying the new one. And would I get rid of the 14? No, you're going to get, I wrote this down. They're promising, I think, roughly $600, $600 in trade-in. I'd just assume have two cameras. So that's me. You've got to look at it. I don't know what your budget is. I don't know what you've got. I'd rather have two cameras, but I would. I'm very interested in the new one, and I'll be doing the pre-order button on Friday. Scott?
Yeah. Like I said, if you have an iPhone 14, not an iPhone Pro Max, but an iPhone 14, and you're thinking of upgrading to an iPhone 15, not an iPhone 15 Pro Max, then I'm going to guarantee you that is a no-brainer. Because for one thing, you're going to go from a 12 to a 48 megapixel sensor without having to pay the premium or the tax that you did on the 14 by getting the Pro Max type thing. So if that was all you got, and the USB-C for faster data transfer, it's an easy answer. You're going to get that lens coating, which probably is the answer, Jeff, to you and I talking about we wish there were a way to have a nice little lens hood because of the constant issue with flare and the green dot. Yeah. So maybe they're going to get rid of that with a coating. That's possible. I know Olympus was able to do that.
Well, to go back to Joel's question, he wanted to know should he hand in his phone or hold on to it, and that's a personal decision. Let's say that he traded it in. Let's say he paid $1,100 a year ago, and he bought a 14, and he used it every day, 7 days a week, 365 days, and he got a lot of use out of it. And now Apple will give him $600 back, and then he gets a brand new phone for roughly $700 with a better zoom that can plug into a hard drive, that has USB-C, that has the lens flare issue supposedly solved, and all sorts of other goodies. I don't even think it's a question, okay?
I think that makes sense if you're the person who has purchased a high-end phone and used it, from day one.
By the way, Steve says that his 12 is worth $360, and I wouldn't ever trade in an old phone for $360. I could be making time lapses on that iPhone 12. Dwight, I update every year regardless through the iPhone trade-in program, which is what I would recommend. Randy says, I feel like I'm buying a camera with a phone. Of course you are. I mean, I have three phones, and only one has service. Only one has service.
Yeah. And I do the same thing, Randy. Jeff and I both have iPhones that do not have phone numbers that we use for things like, well, have you ever been with Jefferson anywhere in the field? He has at least 2 or 3, or I don't know, maybe 4 phones doing time lapses all the frickin' time. I mean, all the frickin' time. So, he can't afford to sell them for $360 because he needs to put his $360 phone on his $8 tripod and make himself a time lapse.
$25 tripod. You could
Okay.
always find another use for the phone. You guys have heard me talk about this. If not another angle, if not another time-lapse camera, you've run out of battery, you've run out of storage, and you're in the field, and what are you going to do? You got this other charged phone ready to go, right?
Well, everybody that, came to this show who used quote unquote real cameras all their lives pretty much always had a backup camera, didn't they?
Always. Chris has a question that I think we know the answer to. I think everybody watching this show knows the answer. Are we planning a follow-up show after we've had a chance to shoot with the 15 Pro Max? That would, as two guys who have a podcast that comes out every Friday talking about iPhone photography, I think you could pretty much assume we'll be talking a lot about it for the next few months.
For the next 6 weeks, we're just going to be doing follow-up shows.
Yeah. This has been a lot of fun. It's great having a conversation with the community here. And I know Scott's enjoyed it as well, right, Scott?
Yeah, it's fun. I think I came into this a little more enthusiastically than I planned on because the news was better than I thought it was going to be.
Be sure to check out us at the iPhonePhotoTeam.com. Check out our podcast, The iPhone Photo Show. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll see you next time.